Yo, what is happening, y'all? I am bringing y'all another how to deal with aggressive players, and this time we're gonna be dealing with a Shaheen. And normally, very interesting and very aggressive, to say the least. And the thing about this aggressiveness, and something I want y'all to pay attention to, that you realize this aggressiveness is very baseline pattern. And when you understand this pattern, and hopefully you can sniff that pattern out immediately, players like this can be a lot more manageable in the future, right? And while this loads, don't forget to go ahead and join the Discord there. We're doing just lobby sets, just fighting one another, sparring with one another, and just building a knowledge base. If you guys are interested, go ahead and join in the description below. But yeah, you're gonna be seeing what I'm talking about here. This is a live reaction. We're gonna be seeing how aggressive, like how aggressive we're talking here, right? So we're gonna be going ahead and starting off with down forward 1-1. One of my safest options I like to start off with. I like to test my opponent, see how they react here, and we're gonna see how they react. Trust me. We're gonna go with just a straight up down forward 1-1. Very simple, nothing too crazy. And then immediately armor. All right, I'm like, okay, so that's kind of stuff you just want to go ahead and just don't let it get to you. Learn your lesson there, right? Okay, now understand that armor is a high. If you can bait out that armor, if you feel like this player does not want to take his frames per se, bait it out, right? So we're gonna go ahead and he wakes up with a mid. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And again, I'm not letting these things get to me simply because of the fact that this is the beginning of the set, okay? You don't have a read. He doesn't have a read, so just keep it like that, right? Okay. Mid, I'm -3, so nothing too crazy there. I could sidestep with the right read, right? I go ahead and I get the right read that time. Let's see how minus that is on block here. -14, so you can get something pretty big there. Not a launch, unfortunately, but 14 is really good for a lot of characters. I'm gonna go for while standing 4-4. Immediately punishes again. You see what I'm saying here? Like, y'all starting to see this, right? So let's just notate that. Let's really notate that there. So let's continue. Yeah, if I can continue. Here it goes. See, we do it again. See, now, unfortunately for me, what you're gonna see in this set here is it takes me a little while to actually get used to that. I could have launched that so many times. Y'all gonna see. 1-1-2 for Oki. Immediate armor when he gets up. We're already recognizing the pattern, right? And then an immediate heat smash. Yeah, hold on a second. If y'all are doing this, stop. Okay? Like, please stop. And let me explain why. Let me explain why I'm telling you guys to stop here. Alright? So the thing about using your heat smash immediately after you start it, you're losing resources. You're losing chip damage. You're losing heat extensions that you probably could have gotten on punish, on block, sidestep. Enormous damage you're losing there. You know what I'm saying? So don't use your heat smash on immediately on when you use your heat burst, right? Just don't try not to do that. Unless maybe if you're playing on this map here and you have a heat smash that spikes on the ground and does an immediate ground splat, cool, right? Maybe, but even then, still be more wise with how you use your heat. This right here is honestly, I'm sorry to say, but this is a waste of heat. Don't do this, guys. All right? Let's continue. So then this is, if you're a Hayachi player, I want you guys to really utilize this punish here too. You want to, anything -12 at Hayachi, you want to headbutt. Don't be a 1-1-2 warrior like I have been. Like, I've been doing that a lot lately. Headbutt into back 1-4, into forward 4, 1+2. If they get up, just hold back. All of that's guaranteed. All of that is guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Excellent punish there. He did it again. Break the throw. And then we're going to float you out of that because we do not like that setup there. Now, the thing about that setup there is that I did go ahead and notate the fact that this person was waking up with that double kick, whatever that move was. And if you guys are curious, that looks like it's going to be forward 3+4. I want to say. So a lot of input buttons that we're having here on the opponent's end. But in this case, I still wanted to just, I didn't want to take the mix. I didn't want to block. I didn't feel like sidestepping. And if you know there are moves that your opponent has that leaves them airborne like that, go ahead and just throw out your heat. Because your heat is going to automatically spike them back to the ground, and it's going to leave you open for tornadoes, right? So, and that's great. That's a great option to do, right? So in this case, we do that here, and then we get our... Sorry, that was my cat. And then we go ahead and get a reward. Yeah. And we're going to give him a good old nice standard generic throw for that punish there. Alright, so now we're going ahead and starting off the round there again. Let's see what happens here. So you see how we're already getting the armor again? And then you see how we're using the heat smash again? This guy is losing so much damage to the point where if you happen to just maybe skip in this video, you would think that we're doing the first round. This first round looks completely identical to the last round there, right? And that's okay. So at this point, we're paying attention to the armor now. You see what I'm saying there? He's calling it out. I'm not pressing anymore. And if you don't duck, don't get too hard on yourself for not ducking a certain string. Blocking it alone is more than enough for a reward. If you're blocking strings, you're not getting clipped, you're not getting armored through, your moves are not getting power crushed, take that reward, but just remember, like, don't try to retaliate after that. Don't try to punish after that. Right? So in this case, because look what happens here. He's gonna go ahead and do that move here. Let's see. I'm +9. So I can take my turn after that, but it's not a punish though, right? And that still leaves him an opportunity to do something else if he decided to. We know with Shaheen likes to go ahead and do crazy hop kicks in the neutral whenever they feel like it, and it works out. So I'm just not gonna press. I'm just gonna take my block. At most I'll do is jab, because I can maybe float him out of the jab. Break the throw. Here it goes again. Low mix up, break the throw. And that's okay. That's okay. That's cool. Offense. And at this point, if you're playing Heihachi, again, Heihachi players, understand that if you are low in health and you haven't popped heat yet, I don't care if you're gonna die. I don't care if you die and the next hit, just pop the heat, because your goal should be, your #1 goal with Heihachi is just to get him to heat. Just get him to heat. That's your #1 goal with Heihachi, right? So in this case, I have pixel health. I'm gonna pop heat, man. I want my install. I want my Warrior's Instinct. See? So who cares? But guess what? I'm 1 install closer to Warrior's Instinct now. Back 4 for the check. So now at this point, we have nailed down the fact that when he's minus, or even with homing moves, right? As we see here, he's -13. Actually, that's crazy. Man, I didn't even know that was punishable. This is why we do this stuff, though. This is why we do this stuff. It's because of the fact that we learn, right? So now I know for a fact that if I, hold on, get my arcade stick, because I was not prepared to have this 10-pound arcade stick on me right now, is if we were to go ahead and actually, like, play that out, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I actually have to remember when it comes out. I could have done that, you know what I'm saying? I could have done that. You know, it's really, really important just to kind of go ahead and really look at these replays again. So, because now we learned something. That's great. That's awesome. But at this point, the fact that he was pressing, and the fact that he doesn't even know that that's -13. Like, you gotta know what moves are punishable are in your moves list. So at this point, he's gonna attack. I'm gonna get my heat engager. And then, if you guys saw my last video, we should not be attacking Heihachi when he goes into stance, because that's exactly what's going to happen here. So because of the fact that now we've notated that this guy does not want to take defense, this guy does not want to go ahead and try to sidestep, this guy's going to use armor, this guy's going to do something insane, we went ahead and used that 3-2 stance transition to bait that out. And of course, we knew that he was going to do something armor. I'm going to keep my momentum there. and then to immediate heat smash again. And at this point, these heat smashes are not doing any damage. And then on top of that, look at all the recoverable health that we can get from there too. So again, don't sweat those things. Again, look how much heat he's wasting because of that. Again, same setup. Same setup here. We block the low. I'm in heat, so he learned his lesson already. And then he's gonna press again. And then we're just gonna get our wall combo here, or we're gonna get the ground splat combo. The combo was really weirdly angled, so that's okay. And I didn't learn my lesson at that point. But again, we're not gonna let it get to us simply because of the fact that look at how much health we have. So, and again, we didn't even have any recoverable health to lose either, so no sweat. Now, you have this blocked here. Why are we trying to attack after that? Was my man really trying to attack after that? My man's just attacking after that? Yeah, alright, man. Cool. But yeah, don't attack when you get a move block for the most part. That's very simple. Simple lesson to learn there. Same momentum. And at this point, I'm playing it safe because Shaheen can just throw out a hop kick. A good Shaheen will throw out a random hop kick and delete that health bar. It's very possible. So I'm just gonna play safe, man. Just play safe. Down forward one to end it out. That's all we need. And we still had 20 seconds left. You know? Alright, we're gonna get up. We're gonna get the strong mid. Y'all see this? And if you guys wondering how to actually deal with something like that, right? If you know he's gonna go for the armor, let's try that again. Yeah, you see how that you could sidestep that? The heat engagers or the the heat bursts for the most part are pretty linear. A lot of these guys have linear heat bursts for the most part. But y'all get the point. So if you can bait out a heat burst like that, if you can bait out an armor move that's linear like that, try to sidestep. Don't be too scared to sidestep. You know, sidestepping is all about creating opportunities here. So we could have had an opportunity there, but in this case, you know, I'm expecting more. I'm expecting more layers from the Shaheen player, and it's my fault for not realizing that, you know, 4 rounds in that there's not that this is the baseline layers that we have here. Yeah. So loss of heat. Now we see how much health we're gonna recover immediately already. Already recovering health. Armor. At this point, now we're catching him ducking. And then down 4-1 to close it out. So, what do we do here, right? What did we go ahead and how were we successful at this? We played it simple. We understood that he doesn't understand frames, and which is, you know, you're probably gonna hear me a lot say this. You say this a lot in the series here, but not knowing frames will get you really far, and if you don't know frames, you're gonna have a really hard time here. We just played around that, counter hit, pokes, patience. Even if we blocked safe moves, we just played defense and just made him pay for his mistakes, and that's all. And then another big thing too is that just Shaheen unfortunately was very unknowledgeable with his frame, so that was a big thing we had for us going on there. But other than that, I hope y'all learned something here. Again, I hope y'all got some insight here. Don't forget to join the Discord again if y'all are interested. The link is in the description below. But other than that, I will see y'all guys in the next video.